Speaking of useless pub quizzes, why not? The last Comedy Soc, that was a shambles.
Oh God.
But you wouldn't
Was
know
I even
it.
there?
No.
Oh, right.
As were most of the world were not there.
How many were we talking? Not even enough to cover the amount of the supposed committee as well.
Let's just say that it was planning to be a four-membered teams. They were 2-member teams, and we had 6.
One.
We had 6. So we had 12 people.
Wait, so you could have 3 of 4.
Yeah, but 10 people were from the committee.
Okay.
So
you wanted to kind of filter it down so one of the committee members might have lost.
Yeah, which they didn't.
Okay.
Right? Am I right, Peter?
What's that?
We won the table quiz.
Oh, we did. We did win the table quiz. Pretty amazingly, as I recall. Yeah.
Were they comedy-oriented questions? Or
they were very, very good questions.
Oh.
Especially the last round, because I wrote those.
Yeah.
Can we
the MC was a bit of an ass. He was a bit of an
ass.
Oh, yeah.
Which is your mic? I'm going to cut it off.
No,
it's
but
the blue one.
Give
us an example of a question. Were they like funny questions, or did you write them, James?
We have no recollection of them. I don't think.
I'm cutting you off as
well. we have Charlie Sheen's page up here now officially. His latest tweet.
Bit of background for the people who may not be following the whole.
Okay. Charlie Sheen from 2.5 Men.
One of the great thespians of our time.
Yeah, and also I really like the way how they really thought of the character and they named him Charlie in 2.5 Men. Really method acting there.
Absolutely.
But I guess I don't know a huge amount about him. He's a kind of
he's a bit of a Jack the Lad, if you will, a bit of a man about town, a hero, some would say. He has a lot of failed marriages. He's got 5 kids in total. And it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. His ex-wife, he had these 2 twin sons anyway. They've been taken away from him. But as he said to the kids, don't say goodbye, say see you later, because he's getting them back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Via the medium of Twitter.
Yeah.
So he was the first man to get over 1 million followers in 24 hours on Twitter. And he's just turned himself into quite a brand, I think. So he's got some great lines, some great tweets today even. Perhaps you'd like to read out a few there, Ciarán, maybe?
Yeah, 16 hours ago he came with this gem. Nice guys finish last. Awesome guys finish on our face.
He's about 45 and he's got 5 kids. Just to put that one in perspective.
Also, surely the implication there is that the nice guys are the awesome guys, which is why they're finishing last, because they're on their face.
Yeah.
Indeed.
He's quite the philosopher.
He truly is.
Old
he truly
Sheeny.
is. Yeah.
Mr. Sheen, that cleaner of wood products.
Yeah. There's another one here. Allow your woman to be creative. There is more than one way to wash a dish. So there's a bit of sexism.
What a genius!
Yeah.
What a genius!
And tomorrow is International Women's Day.
Well, we have to balance.
We're having Keith Farrelly in for that, and his show is called Sex Trafficking and something about how to sell a woman.
Yeah, I think it's meant to be like ironic.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually going to be. He's not actually going to be trafficking women. I don't think. Valerie.
Or giving tips on how other people would go about that. Sadly.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna go.
Your dreams of an underground brothel empire, Valerie, are sadly
they've been postponed, James, momentarily.
Yeah, we've got one here, another Charlie Sheen gem. For this one, he's trying to contextualize it as a rhyme, so he just writes in capital letters, "Poem: colon." So and then he goes,
"Oh my God!
I am not a crazy man. I do not seek perfection. I just want a pretty girl to handle my erection." So,
they've cancelled his show. They won't. They've cancelled 2.5 Men. So
yeah, but I believe that was because he called the other actor Charlie something else a pussy.
It was the writer that he accused, and then the writer just dropped out. So that was the reason. But he was the highest paid actor in the world ever, 2 million a series.
He wanted 2.2 million an episode to come back to 2.5.
What? Well, if he gets
it's not that funny. Someone needs to tell him that.
What are you talking about?
2.5 Men, really?
It's not a comedy.
It's a documentary.
It's a documentary
of a man's life.
about a great man. He's now an unemployed winner. One of his tweets today mentioned how he now has 7-day weekends.
Yeah.
Which is pretty great. It's pretty great. He's living with Brie Olsen, the famous porn star, and an ex-nanny, the goddesses he calls them.
Yeah, there's two beds between the 3 of them.
Actually, I've got a thing here I might play for you. It's by College Humor originally, I think it's 2.5 Men, but with real audience reactions.
Let it go.
Play it now.
I have a question.
Yeah?
How smart do you have to be to have sex?
Oh, this is gonna be bad.
Well, actually...
Terrible.
Can I have that?
Not funny the first time,
But I was...
not funny the second time.
Oh, come on.
4 times, really. 4 times.
Why do you ask?
Mom's boyfriend's a doctor,
Yeah?
and doctors are supposed to be smart, right?
Not as smart as they think they are. But go ahead.
Well, when I'm in bed, I can hear them in bed.
Oh, God. Oh, boy.
Oh, goody.
Ah, shut up.
And Mom's always telling him that he doesn't know what he's doing.
Kid is so stupid.
Go on, sweetheart.
So I'm thinking sex must be a lot harder than I figured. I mean, she has to tell him the same thing every night.
So dumb.
Every night, you say.
You had a semi-annual subscription, didn't you?
Sex is like a magazine.
Come on, you guys, please.
Can't help
no.
it.
Oh my God.
Jake, it's not that you have to be particularly smart to have sex.
Yeah, look at your dad.
That doesn't make sense.
Jake, show me a Coke.
Oh, it's unbearable.
Think of it this way. Suppose you like banana cream pie.
I do like banana cream pie.
Worst kid ever.
Do we have any?
Oh my God.
No.
Well, then why'd you bring it up?
Tell you an analogy.
I was trying to tell you something about sex.
What does pie have to do with sex?
So stupid.
If you don't tell me you like banana cream pie, and I keep bringing home something
But I
else...
just told you I like it.
F***ing analogy.
So yeah, that was that.
I think I've got another Charlie Sheen tweet hot off the press 12 minutes ago. All is fair in love and war. Just make sure you pay that whore.
What a poet.
Yeah.
Like the
I
next
just
Shakespeare.
love the idea of him, like, 12 minutes ago, sitting on his couch in Beverly Hills and just being like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tweet. You know?
Yeah.
Like, what's he doing? He's high as balls, it seems. Another tweet of his a couple of days ago was, when cocaine wants to party, it does Charlie Sheen. He followed that like half an hour later. He was like, that one-liner wasn't good enough. He had another one half an hour later. And he said, if you don't do coke, it means you do Pepsi. And that makes you a bitch. Which,
Although, you know, think about it, he's clearly on Twitter now. And he's, on the internet, obviously. So, in a few minutes' time, check again. Listening to DU Comedy Soc.
Yeah.
They're taking the piss.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
coming over there to punch them with my fists of flame and my tiger blood.
One thing I also like is that he's in this is a separate second Charlie Sheen account. He's got 61,000 followers, but he's following nobody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, who would you follow in a Charlie Sheen?
Exactly.
Who do you look up to?
You don't follow when you're a leader, I guess.
Should we have another bit of comedy?
I'd just like to thank Danny Murphy for this pear.
Ah, yes.
It's delicious.
Many of you regular listeners out there may have noticed the recurring theme we have of someone eating at some point through the show. This time it's Ciarán and a pear. Last time it was PD and some chili con carne. What next time, eh? What crazy antics? Might be me and the quiche. Who knows? Will we get that lucky? I don't know. Here's some jokes.
Good evening. Very nice to be here. I thought I might start this evening with a joke. Concerns 3 men, an Englishman, a Welshman, and a Pakistani. Yes, weren't expecting that, were you? That's my favourite bit of the joke, to be honest, the tension which is suddenly palpable in the room when I mention the third member of that little gathering. I will mention the chap who told me this joke. I didn't know him terribly well. He had already uttered the immortal phrase, "Some of my best friends are black," which is rarely a sign of an untroubled conscience. And I did have to point out to him that Labradors don't count. But as it happened, I think he was in the clear on this one. Anyway, you be the judge. 3 men, English, Welsh, Pakistani. These 3 congregate one morning, innocently enough, in the maternity ward of their local hospital to collect their newborn sons. The mood is one of joyous anticipation, from which we may reasonably deduce that they are first-time fathers. But a note of bitterness there for serial parents. However, this mood, fragile as it is shattered prematurely when they are informed by the doctor in charge, or more likely some sort of middle management lackey who is siphoning funds away from frontline services, but be that as it may, they are informed that there has been a bit of a mix-up at the hospital, and he can no longer say with any certainty whose son is whose. Now, you or I in this situation, I imagine, would probably return home and inform our legal representatives and begin a costly and time-consuming but ultimately profitable suit against this hospital for gross professional misconduct. At the very least, you would demand a DNA test be conducted in order to establish paternity. But this being a joke, the three men agree to sort it out between them. The Englishman goes in first, as is his right. According to strict alphabetical order, at the very least, let us say. The Englishman goes in first and emerges a moment later with what is quite clearly, even to the medically untrained eye, the Pakistani child. Pakistani gentleman says as much, and the Englishman says, well, I'm sorry, mate, but one of those two in there is Welsh, and I'm not taking any chances. It's a relief, isn't it? If you're honest, when you realise which of your possible prejudices is actually being pandered to on this occasion. And your secondary relief when you realise the rest of the room shares your abhorrence of the Welsh. But, I am allowed to tell that joke. I have a little Welsh blood in me. Not a great deal, and that transfusion unit is being sued, I'm afraid. I don't care what forms are signed, I'd rather have variant CJD. But it's done now, and, still walking upright. But listen, I haven't got long, but I do want to say something about Wales this evening. Clever this bit. Not Wales the country, but rather the large blubbery mammals that live in Wales. Now what we have, that is actually a statistically supported insult. They are the fattest in the region, but I'm afraid the UK is now the fattest country in Europe, and this is nothing to be proud of. We used to have moral superiority over America on this basis and very little else, and we're drifting. I'm just saying, as a society, I don't think it's wise as a society that we now reward excessive levels of corpulence with subsidised transport. And I'm not talking about a bus pass, I'm talking about these three-wheeled electrical obesicles. I don't know if you've seen these things. Clearly designed for the elderly and infirm. Nobody would quarrel with that. They have been hijacked recently. Not literally, I hope. My God, that would be a long-winded and boring crime to watch unfold, wouldn't it? But no. They have been hijacked by the overweight, and well, the first one I saw, I thought he was hovering. He was so vast. I thought, no wonder you've put on a few pounds. You've mastered the art of levitation. You're not going to burn off many calories that way. Then I saw a wire basket glinting between the thighs. I realised what was going on. If they must have subsidised transport, I recommend space hoppers. For the very simple reason. Well, you immediately see the sense. They're more affordable, they will burn off a few calories, and it would give us all a bit of a laugh, which is no bad thing. They could even paint their own faces on the front so they know who's whose. And they come out of Greg's in the morning. Listen, folks, you've been delightful. Have a great festival. See you soon.
So that was Simon Evans, a very, very amusing comedian. That was filmed at the Edinburgh Festival. Don't know the name of the routine. Three men joke. I don't know.